Hi guys, so today is day 22 of the 365 days challenge. It's almost a month and it's amazing. I'm Siddharth, and in today's video we're going to talk about this specific adjective called Sonder. I hope it's an adjective. I'm not sure if it's an adjective, but I'm going to talk about this word Sonder and what it means and what it means to everybody. Sonder, the exact meaning I'll tell you because I had a definition of it, but the exact meaning is the realization that every stranger you pass is a vivid is living a life as vivid and complex as your own, with their own ambitions, relationships, worries, and inner world. So I'm gonna take this video in three different aspects. The first thing, Sonder in everyday life, Sonder in social media, how Sonder is that awakening inside that everybody is waiting for. Like I realize Saunders too often, which is not a good thing either. But a lot of people don't even face Sonder, like have that feeling of Sonder. So we're gonna talk about that. The first thing is Sonder in everyday life. Whenever we pass, like whenever we are sitting in this apartment complex, let's say if you are living in an apartment complex, every day you walk across the man who's protecting your apartment, and he or she is also part of the apartment's welfare community and whatnot, but you're basically crossing that person every day. The security personnel might have a even more complex and vivid life than you, but you have probably never asked him about that. So this entire idea originated from a reel where this guy in New York City, he fist bumps the security every day, and he thought he knew him because he just fist bumped at him, he smiled at him and whatnot. But reality is that you don't know that person. What you know is like a very small aspect of him coming to apartments, to working there for 9 to 5. Then he leaves and you fist bump him every day at morning 9 a.m. and he last smiles at you, you smile at him. So that's all you know about him, that's all he knows about you, and that is not knowing each other. But once the Sonder kicks in, you're like, oh my god, he is a living person, and he might have an even more complex and life as vivid as mine, with his own world, with his own family, own friends, and whatnot. Then now you want to know him, you want to talk to him, and this is what pushes you into making real, deep, social, meaningful connections. Sonder is this internal architect of our human civilization where that curiosity of, okay, I don't know this person looks cool, he was wearing this cool cloth, so piece of cloth, and let me go talk to him. And once you talk to him, you realize that, oh my god, he has such a good life, he has really complicated life, that you develop immediate impressions on his life. Then you realize that no, this person might actually have an even more vivid life or even worse life than mine. After that initial predicament, uh, you get to know him more and you realize this. So this is Sonder in everyday life. You probably go to the tea stall every day and drink tea from the same man who has served you tea for the last 5 years. You probably uh, walk across this cleaning staff in your college who he or she might you have seen for the last few years, but you've never even realized that, oh my god, they have their own life. They are like unconscious, they are an NPC in your life, basically non-playing character. You don't know them, they don't know you, they're just there in the background, like background noise. So this is Sonder in everyday life and how it architects society. And we're going to talk about Sonder in social media. Now, this is the most interesting aspect that I've realized. When we see someone on social media who we actually don't know much, we just know that they have a social media account. They went to this recent trip to Italy, they went to this recent trip to Switzerland, they went to a recent trip to the States, and we know that they like to travel, we know that they like to surf and whatnot. But in reality, are they that person? If you go and ask to them or ask to a really close friend, they'll probably say no, because social media is this architected look on your life. It's like this extremely well constructed scaffold or well constructed building that is being represented to you, but you don't know the internal workings of it because you've never been inside. And Sonder there is that when you see these influencers, when you see these celebrities online, you're like, oh my god, I'm such a big fan and honored. and on and on. But once you meet them once in your life, like in person, it immediately goes away because you realize that they're as human as you are, and the Sonder starts to click in, and you lose the fandom beyond them. Like a lot of people who have seen their role models in everyday life and have talked to them once or twice say that now I'm not fanboying behind him because he's as human as me. It's not like you saying that pop star are far away from the stage. That's not the thing. You seeing them in an everyday aspect of life. You seeing them walking in the mall, buying a piece of clothing, them eating food at a restaurant, or them going for a jogging, and you see them at this amazing park where they are not there making an impression to the public, but they're just existing normally. And that's when the Sonder starts to click and you feel like, oh, this is a normal person. And that's how it applies to a lot of aspects in life, where you feel like you have probably seen this girl or a guy on Instagram that you've followed for a really long time, who's from a different school or a different college. You've seen their posts, you've liked their posts, you've talked to them once or twice on Instagram, like reply to the stories and stuff. But once you meet them IRL, that immediate thing that, oh my god, she's my crush, oh my god, he was a celebrity online, everything goes away, the sound starts to click in, and you feel like, okay, he's just a human being. And this is the second part I want to talk about. The third part is my life and Sonder. Like, the first time I felt Sonder that I can remember is ninth standard when I was, and every day I used to go and drink coconut water this one stall, and I've been drinking this since I've been like 3 years old or 4 years old. They have the coconut stall for a really long time, and I started to talk to that guy because he was not the actual uncle who used to do. Now he is like the uncle's son who was like 3 years younger than me. And then we spoke for like 15 minutes solid, and then I realized that, oh my god, he, I've been drinking it for the past 10 years, but never realized that this uncle has a son, and he's like 3 years younger than me, and he's studying in the school nearby, and I've seen him before while playing cricket and all that. Oh my god, that sound starts to click in. And this happens to me a lot of times when I feel like when I make that social connection with this person I've been seeing for a long time but never spoke to, that sound starts to click in. And there are some people who have never felt sound in their life because they're negligent and they're ignorant for most of the sakes. They're not introverts, and not, you cannot talk all that stuff like I'm an introvert and stuff. Sonder is universal. It For an introvert it probably comes to you, but you don't actualize the Sonder of getting to know them, but you feel like you realize that. But there are people out there I've seen who almost never realize Sonder, and for you, all of you, realize Sonder more often. Do it willfully that everybody around you they have their own life. Just think about what they would do after going home after college or what. And once you start to think like this, you start to treat everybody as a human and everybody equally. And then you start to make actual meaningful social connections. So this is my today's video. It's been a long one. So thanks for watching my video. See you all in the next video. Goodbye. Peace out.